you know, they edit it and they put it together and they ask you questions that maybe you don't want to answer.
Right.
And they put things together that you're saying, and you know, I'm a fucking dumb guy. I get confused and shit. So they were asking me about a whole bunch of things at the same time.
Well, they were asking you about Louis C.K.
Yes.
and Roseanne. Now,
Yes.
Roseanne was someone who gave you one of your first breaks in
My
show
very
business.
first job, yes.
You were actually writing
I
on
love
Roseanne.
yes.
And Louis is a friend of yours.
Louis is, you know, the greatest comic there is.
And in the defense of them, somehow you got to this point where you said,
well,
hey,
it wasn't really a defense of them. They asked me, what do you think of Roseanne, you know, what she did and, how she's doing. That's what they asked.
yes,
Because I've been in touch with her.
yeah,
So the day it happened, I phoned Roseanne because I know Roseanne, and she was crying and she was so, you know,
upset.
and heartbroken. You know, I felt so bad. And so I said, I don't know what to say to you, Roseanne, because I've never been through this, you know? And I said, let me ask a friend of mine that's been through this. And I was talking about Louis C.K.
Yeah.
Now, Roseanne had been really hard on Louis C.K.
Yes, when he was in his controversy, she blasted his
And this
ass.
was before he got, you know, written up.
Yeah.
She said, she named him. She said, fucking Louis C.K. is doing a lot of bad things. So,
so you had the idea that they should talk to one another.
Louis did. I talked to Louis and I said, I was worried about Roseanne. Because I talked to her for 2 hours in a row. I was just crying the whole time. And I was like, I'm kind of worried about Roseanne. You know, she's not the strongest person mentally.
Right.
And Louis said, I think...
But real bad sexual abuse.
I do too.
Rape, everything.
Yes.
And they go through... It destroys their life. They're never the same. Their whole bodies shake at the thought of it. Some of them even black out when they think about this thing. It's horrible. So
I know that. And of course, you know, you'd have to have Down syndrome.
Not to know that.
That's my new word.
Down syndrome. Right. That's a good word.
You'd have to have Down syndrome to not feel sorry for, you know, of course, Me Too is what you want for your daughters. You know what I mean? And you want that to be the future world, of course.
Right.
And I meet all kinds of women that have the terrible stories, you know, about what's happened to them. But I wasn't talking about the victims. I was talking about, they asked me about Roseanne. They asked me about Chris Hardwick. They asked me about Louis. And I told them, you know, like if someone murders someone, you know, and goes to jail, right? And then he gets out of jail after 10 years. And you go, I'm going to give this guy a job washing dishes because he's done his penance.
Right.
Nobody goes, well, what about the people he murdered? Well, of course, they had it off worse, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the murderer. Give him a dishwasher job, you know?
So do you think that the writer somehow merged all of these thoughts into one thing? Or do you feel you were quoted inaccurately? Or do you feel like you were treated fairly?
Well, I don't know. The original writer was for The Hollywood Reporter.
Right.
And he wrote it. And that wasn't the headline.
Right.
And so I don't know if he even noticed or anything. And then another place called Vulture, which is a WW computer.
Yeah.
They wrote, Norm MacDonald defends Louis Anderson.
Louis C.K. Louis C.K. You can't defend Louis Anderson. What did he do?
I defend, it says, you know, in the headline, Norm MacDonald defends Louis C.K. and Roseanne Barr. And I never defended them, you know?
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer...
Norm MacDonald has become a huge hot topic over his comments about Roseanne and Louis C.K. and the Me Too movement, and it led to The Tonight Show, you know, saying that we're going to cancel the appearance, but we wanted him to come and clear the air. So please welcome Norm MacDonald. You took a lot of flack for saying in the art of for some things that you said in the Hollywood Reporter, saying that you were kind of glad that the Me Too movement has slowed down, and we don't really know you as a guy who really comments on very much. That's gone out. So what were you trying to say?
Yeah.
Well, I was, print reporters, they ask you questions and then put them all together. What I was talking about was Chris Hardwick, this particular comedian.
Right.
That was a friend of mine. And, if 500 women go against a man, obviously the guy's guilty. But in the Chris Hardwick one, it was one woman against one man.
Right.
So I was saying that I thought it was good that the pendulum was slowing, and Chris Hardwick has been as rehabilitated as he's going to get. He still tells me he can't walk down the street without people yelling stuff at him.
Yeah.
But that's all I was trying to say.
Okay. Well, you do raise valid questions about, like, due process and, verification of what went on. I think that we would agree with that, that you have to back it up somewhat. But when you kind of lose me when you imply that the hardship that your friend Louis C.K. is a friend of mine, too, really. I know him a long time. That the hardship that he went through is equal to the hardship that the victims went through.
Right.
That doesn't compute.
No, it's not
true.
true.
Can you explain yourself a little there?
Yeah, that's not what I was saying. When this happened, I was working for Roseanne when Roseanne's thing went down, and I called her the next day, and she was crying the whole time I was talking to her.
Right.
I've known Roseanne for a while, and I was worried about her because she seemed really, really in a bad place. And I said, I can't really talk to you about this because I've never been through anything like this. And I said, I know Louis, and he's been through this, where he's had everything taken from him.
Right.
And I said, not many of us have gone through this, and so you should talk to each other because and then the guy said, what about the victims? And I said, well, the victims haven't gone through this. I was talking about this particular event. Of course, the victims have gone through worse than that. But I'm going to get a victim to phone Roseanne?
No, but that's a good clarification.
And that's why it's so important to be able to clarify and to be able to explain, because at the heart of it, I think we are forgiving people. We jump very quickly today, but I do think that we like to forgive. You went on the Howard Stern show yesterday to apologize, and you ended up making it worse because you said you'd have to have Down syndrome not to feel sorry for the victims.
Yes.
Do you regret saying that?
You just keep on getting into trouble, Norm MacDonald.
It's always bad when you have to apologize for
the apology.
An apology.
Do you lose it when you're on Howard? Is that what happens, Joe?
Well, there is a thing on Howard where there's a recklessness in the studio, and there used to be a word we would all say to mean stupid that we don't say anymore, right?
Yeah.
You know the word I'm talking about? Yes. And stupidly, I was about to say that word,
And you put this.
and I stopped and said, "What's the right word to say?" And then I said a different word that was equally.
Yeah. Did you realize in that moment that probably offended
I realized at that moment that I'd done something unforgivable.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's like things spill out sometimes, and it's just difficult. You also you're friends with Roseanne. She gave you your first job, I understand?
Yes, she gave my first job.
And so you put her together with Louis C.K.
Yeah, because I was really concerned about Roseanne, and I don't want someone to end up killing themselves or anything.
Of course not.
Yeah, so.
Don't you think Louis, do you say that you think they deserve a comeback? Now, I was saying yesterday that Louis performed at Comedy Cellar, and what he didn't talk about these allegations in his set, which I would have thought that he would have done. Don't you? I mean, so if he wants to have a comeback, he needs to, address it directly, I think, as a comedian. So where's Roseanne's coming back?
Geez, I don't know if Roseanne could ever come back.
Are you worried to speak now because of the backlash that you've received this week? Now are you thinking twice before everything gets out of your mouth?
He always thinks that
way. This is how he's a slow talker.
He's a talks like that.
But I think just in general, we all have to think very carefully about the words that come out of our mouth, because you risk offending somebody or a number of people.
Well, Joy's often said that PC, political correctness, is killing comedy.
It is killing comedy.
Do you agree with that?
Yes, I
Even in
agree
the clubs
with that.
where it's a small group.
Well, often people will come and say, some guy said a joke and you're asked to defend it, and the joke is always horrible. Like it's the worst joke you've ever heard.
Yeah.
And you're in this position where you have to defend a terrible joke on free speech, you know. But I always, like, reporters always ask you, like, what's offensive? Is anything over the line? And I personally think almost everything is over the line.
They like you to be edgy, and then when you are, you get hurt for it.
Right.
But you know, comedians.
But I will say the remark I made about people with Down syndrome was just a terrible thing for me to say.
Agree.
Well, all of this is happening.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
and we also, you know, we've all stepped in it as comics.
Yeah.
We all have stepped in it as comics.
and as lawyers and as journalists.
Maybe, but not quite the same way.
Not quite the same. But
Yeah.
let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Whoop. You know, your appearance on Jimmy Fallon was canceled. And he said that his staffers were actually crying about the comments that you made. Were you surprised at that reaction?
Weren't
have
they
you been
crying
surprised
that you were there? They were crying that he was there.
that you were even there? Have you been surprised by this reaction?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, yeah, I have been surprised because, you know, I never did anything. I mean, I spoke, but I mean, I don't want to be tossed in with people that actually did, not crimes, but sins, or, you know, I barely have consensual sex. You know who I met once, Bob? You may have met this guy. I bet you did. But you remember that book on stand-up written by maybe William Goldman? I can't remember. But it was about Lenny Bruce. It was about Lenny Bruce.
I don't think I read that
It was
book.
Lenny Bruce.
I never met Lenny Bruce, but I didn't know who William Goldman is.
So there was a guy that was with Lenny Bruce that was supposed to be the funniest guy.
Well,
and he was Rodney's friend.
Joe Ancis.
Yes.
Joe Ancis, Rodney
Now,
told
I met
me.
Joe Ancis.
No way.
He came to Saturday Night Live, and he wasn't very funny.
Well, he was an old man by then, right?
Yeah, he was with Rodney.
You know, there's a story about him that he was so OCD that he got into a bathroom, took off all of his clothes, and like naked in the toilet, but didn't lock the stall door.
Yeah.
And Rodney told me this story, and it has to be true, I guess, and because he didn't tell that many stories this many times. And he's naked, standing on a toilet seat. So you look under the stall, and the guy saw that there was nobody there, and he was trying to take a shit, and he was just naked like a crow, and his clothes were laid up over the side of the stall.
Yeah.
And a guy opened the stall, and they both because he was like naked with like his dick hanging out.
My God.
Just a creepy story. There was no punchline to it except how OCD the guy was, how crazy.
I heard a great story, and correct me if I'm wrong, about you running into Rodney after he got out of a hospital at Caroline's. Was that you? And he was waiting for Ron Jeremy?
Yeah, that was at his place. That's actually in the book.
It's in the book.
Is that in the book?
Yeah, there's a story.
Tell
and
everyone that story.
It's a true thing that I was supposed to have dinner with Rodney at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. And I got to his place, and he was in a robe, and he just had surgery, but he was healed, you know, wasn't like hanging out. He had a scar up here, and he said they took out all my guts, lied them next to me, and then put them all back in. That's how he talked about his surgery. It's just like something quick, like Legos or something. And so I got to his place Wednesday night, and his wife was going out with a friend, and he goes, "Bob, you didn't call to confirm." I said, "I'm not late. This was the plan." "You didn't call to confirm, man. I'm sorry. I got Ron Jeremy coming up here with 2 hookers." And I said, "Well, I gotta go. I'm not gonna. I met Ron before. No offense. I just don't. I'm good. I'm gonna leave." Yeah. And Rodney goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I feel bad." He had a release on the table that just says, "I, Ron Jeremy, allow Rodney to use me in his book." And that was just going to be his signature. That's what it was all for. So Rodney goes, "Sorry, I'll walk you out. I feel bad, Bob." And he walks me over to the elevator, and the elevator was just to his unit. And I walk over, and the doors, I'm on the inside of the elevator, and I go, he said, "How you doing, Bob?" I said, "I'm doing pretty good. I would have liked to have dinner, but how are you doing?" And he goes, "You want to know how I'm doing? You're leaving, and I'm waiting for a guy that can suck his own cock. That's how I'm doing." And then the doors closed. And we both laughed out loud because he said it he had no energy up to that moment. And when he said it, it was like a back-to-school moment. You know, "That's how I'm doing." He yelled it. And that's what the guy could do, apparently. You know, the potato bug of porn actors.
Yeah.
Could curl himself up.
And you've met him.
I met him. He loves comics.
Thinks he's funny. He's the funny one.
Loves comedians. That's the guy you definitely want to fist bump, not shake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
talk about that big juicy thing you were talking about.
No.
Here's a guy who's very funny, but he's lonely. He needs acceptance. Make him happy, won't you? Bob Saget, how about it? All right, Bobby, here we are now.
Thank you. Gosh, you're a wonderful audience. You really are. I'm not just kissing up. I'm really not. I swear, I'm slobbering all over you is what I'm doing, because I need you to like me real bad, because I have no act, and I have no life, and I have no future.
Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their 3 best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the 3rd year in a row, crack whore. Finally, in U.S. News and World Report's list of the best and worst jobs for 1996 is out. Last year's best job, multimedia software consultant, was replaced by a new best job, bioindustrial engineer. And in the worst job category, last year's winner, crack whore, has lost its spot. The new worst job is assistant crack whore. Finally, according to the U.S. News and World Report 1997 Career Guide, the best job in the United States for the 2nd year in a row is interactive business system analyst. However, last year's worst job, assistant crack whore, has been replaced by a new worst job, crack whore trainee. That's the... I swear to God, this one will really do well. This one concerns a fella that won the lottery. And he was a garbage man. He won the lottery, he won the New York State lottery, and he won like $8 million, and he said he's not going to quit his job. And you've always heard that, right?
Right, I'm going to keep my job.
I'm going to keep my job. And there's only one occupation where the person does not keep his job when he
wins the lottery.
You know what that occupation is?
No.
Crack whore.
That was amazing. You pulled it out. I was worried about you for a minute. I thought you were in deep trouble. I thought you might get backed into a corner, have a lot more pressure on you, and then not have anything.
I know.
But the pitch came in low and towards the middle, and you put it out of the park.
No, I didn't.
What are you talking about? When people hear crack whore, they just start laughing. That's just the reaction people have. It's cartoon birds fly in and sing a song. Crack whore. What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little commercial break.
Okay, great.
And I'm going to get security in here. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you some more because you're going to have some fluids during the break and stuff.
Fluids?
Yeah, you'll see. We'll get that Tanya girl to get them for you.
I thought when you said that, I thought you meant fluids out of my ass.
A couple of times in the 4 years I've been doing this show, someone has stopped me just before I went to commercial to try one more joke. That was the most worthwhile of all this time. We'll take a break, everybody. We'll be right back.
The iron horse of broadcasting.
It's iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody tells me.
It's the iron horse, like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word I-R-O-N is iron. No, iron.
Iron.
Right, not iron. It should be iron. That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah?
You know, right, sure.
It is the
toughest language
to
to
me,
learn.
it's the easiest. Yeah.
And it's cast iron.
It's cast iron.
Iron?
Cast iron grilling grates that
are you kidding when you say iron?
You know what? Don't be like fucking Larry King. That motherfucker, I say iron, and he's up my asshole for fucking 4 days.
I heard you had Larry King on here.
Your
show that's amazing, by the way. No one gets on Larry King. Larry King gets you.
Cast iron grilling grates. Look at that.
Why doesn't that clock work?
Why doesn't that cock work?
That clock works.
My cock works.
Oh, this clock over here.
Your mind is going somewhere, Norm.
No, I thought that's what you said. I was trying to.
What? No, iron horse.
What do you say? Iron.
Iron. You got it right.
Iron. You know, I'll tell you this, Larry. Say what you want about how huge and fat my head has gotten, but forget it.
Try iron.
But here's what I heard Larry King say one time. This woman had lost her child, for some reason. Dead, And then Larry King said, Paul Newman told me you never get over it. Like a psychopath question. That's what I heard Larry King say to a guy once. What? The guy had lost his child. Oh, no. And Larry King goes, Paul Newman told me you never get over it. It's like some unfeeling psychotic.
I had all my kids on Larry King one time, and I had my little boy Buck. He was about 7 then. I had all.
You mean
all
it was
5
one of those
my
ones where it's a bunch of chairs in there? Yeah,
all 5 of my kids and.
On set?
Yeah, getting interviewed there, and he asked to talk to everybody, and then he looks at my little boy and he goes, "So who's your mom?"
Well, he said he never researched.
He doesn't do any research.
He goes, my kid goes, "Mom."
What is?
We hate the most.
That's the one thing I fear is dying.
Man, that haunts me.
Because the thought of not existing, it's like, what the new thing they call it is? Dirt nap.
Good God, Larry.
That's what they call it, a dirt nap.
You would not say that on Hulu?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I'd say it here.
He was sitting in the chair you were sitting in, and I asked him, what do you think about most of the time now? You don't have a show anymore. He goes, death. It's like, good God. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do a little breezy conversation. And then he's like, I don't believe there's anything afterwards either. Just dirt. You're smothered in it. I'm like, all right, easy. And he looks like he's been already dead 10 years. He looks so much older than he does, doesn't he?
We saw him in Hawaii.
Calm your fears about death?
Yeah, please.
Be
serious. Are you being serious?
I'm being completely serious. Because I used to be, as he knows, obsessed with it. And I would ruminate it all night on it. And then I came to a realization that you and death will never intersect. As long as you're here, death is not. As long as death is there, you are not.
Yeah, but since you know it's coming.
Oh, but you don't want that.
And we were like, Jesus Christ, it's like, like a gargoyle. But then the next month or so, remember, I went to do a show, and he looked good. Like, I guess they put makeup on him.
Oh, yeah, they get the people that work over at Madame Tussauds. But then he lights up, of course. It's like those performers that, like Rickles, and then he's on stage, and all of a sudden, so that's the great thing, I guess. You want to go...
But knowledge, I can't take away the knowledge that it's coming. I don't believe I'm going anywhere.
You don't?
Do not believe in a higher power looking down on me. Why a bomber in Boston? Because if there is a God, he's omnipotent.
Yes.
If he's omnipotent, he could prevent it.
Yes.
Why didn't he prevent it?
I don't know, man, but you got to stop hanging out in that hot tub with Bill Maher all the time. It sounds like you got a God-shaped hole in your heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
Which brings us to 2 notable comedians and 2 friends of Gilbert's. And Gilbert, you might have to do the driving on this one. Let's start with the late, great Norm.
Yeah, I remember doing Norm's podcast, and as always, it turned with any of my comic friends who would turn like deranged. Mm-hmm. And he was very funny with that. He'd always talk with like a sneer, It's like and I remember right after I put that photo up a few times. It's one of my favorite photos. Afterwards, after doing Norm's show, Norm and I joined Jeff Ross and, of course, Bob Saget.
Yeah.
And I remember that being a night of just nonstop laughs.
You could tell even from the still photo that you guys were ripping it up.
Yeah, it was just so much fun.
Truly original. I never met him. It's funny. I'm in comedy a long time, and I know a million comedians, and I've gotten to work with a million comedians, and for some reason our paths never crossed. And we wanted to get him on this show, Gil, as you know.
Yes.
And he was Norm. So he was strangely strangely hard to pin down, or non-committal, or could do it and then couldn't do it, and.
I can't. I don't really know. I know I'm working.
One of the truly great comic minds, though, and his last appearance on Letterman, where he got so emotional, and in ways it sounds corny. I felt I knew him through his work, and obviously a lot of mutual friends. That Letterman appearance, really.
Gil, your appearance on his podcast, that whole podcast was so good. It was and so funny.
Yeah, let's not diminish that, Gilbert. It made history, your appearance, and also the Einstein episode.
Yeah.
With Norm.
Yeah, I remember when I was on Norm's podcast. Afterwards, I just felt like I ran a marathon. It was just got crazier and crazier.
Netflix owns that show now, and they're not available to the public, unfortunately, and they're sitting on them. Hopefully one day it would be great if that podcast was re-released, because
there's that Bob Einstein episode is also legend.
Yep.
What can you say about the guy? I mean, a really rare, truly original comic voice.
Really,
and I love
such
Kurt
a
Ferguson
loss.
more than life itself.
By the way, Norm's book, based on a true story, not a memoir, which is so funny. The audio book, he narrates it. So if you miss Norm and you've never heard him reading his book, it's brilliant.
Now I got to get it. Yeah, I regret never meeting the man. And Gilbert, I'm glad you had such wonderful times with him.
Yes, he was a lot of fun.
It's a big loss. It's a loss for this
podcast,
just
like a total smartass.
Yeah, I wish our paths had crossed.
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. I wish that it would come around.
So let's move on to Bob. Last but not least, which was a blow and not expected. And I will say that I had just reached out to Bob. We just recorded our 400th episode a couple of days ago, Gilbert and I reached out to Bob and I said, will you come and do this with us? And he said, I think I'm on a plane that night. And we were going back and forth and trying to arrange something. And then I sent him the link, which has been shared online. I sent him the link to Don Rickles' estate auction. Did you see that?
They I bid on a couple things.
You bid on a couple of things?
And I got none of them.
Bob's face was on a couple of items that, like there was pictures of them together and a poster or something. And I said, hey, you might want to bid on some of these things. And he wrote me back and he said, this just makes me sad, actually. And he said, but life goes on. And I had said to my wife, I have to call Bob. I have to text Bob. We moved the date of the 400th episode, and I got a phone call from my sister-in-law probably 20 minutes later telling me she just heard that he was gone. It was very shocking, and still is.
And And I had just spoken to Bob like a few days before he died. And we were on the phone, and as always, the minute anything turned at all sincere or serious, we turn it to just complete filth and make it reverse, and it was always fun. And it was like, I always remember, like, when the Aristocrats came out, people were saying, can you believe Bob Saget talks like that? And to people who knew him, they say, we couldn't believe he could speak any other way.
It wasn't Danny Tanner.
No.
I didn't know him that well. I certainly didn't know him as well as Gilbert, but you know, but that was part of him. But there was such a gentleness to the guy.
Yes.
Too. I mean, his humor was so edgy and so dark and so it could be so scatological, as you'll hear because we're rerunning the second episode that we did with him. But he didn't want to injure. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He was very, very, very sensitive guy. Did he always tell you that he loved you before he hung up the phone, Gilbert?
Yes.
As Dara shared with me, there was a real kindness to him that you couldn't miss.
And I remember I got a call from Jeff Ross who said, oh, sad news, Bob Saget died. And I swear, I thought, oh, this is going to be a funny, sick joke. And I said, oh, okay. And I was waiting for the punchline. And then he said, no, seriously, he died. And I still have a hard time grasping that.
It's a gut punch. It really is. You know, Gilbert you made the rounds. You went on CNN. You went on television. You said some lovely things about him. But you know, 65. I mean, it's too young. It's too big a loss for.
And it seemed like he was another one starting out again. Like he did a live show.
Yeah.
And he was really excited to be getting back to live performing. And
going back to the second podcast with him, and he started that podcast, Bob Saget's Here For You. And it did seem like he was entering another phase of his career and another phase of his life. It seemed like he was more wistful and trying more to be of service. I mean, that's why he was pleasant to be around. There really was no show business at all to the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and he struck me, again, didn't know him well, but he struck me as also having a sadness about him. Do you think that, Gil, did you feel that?
Yeah.
A depth and a sadness about him.
And he also, he had two sisters who died.
Yeah, that's right.
One from scleroderma, which was a charity he did loads of work for.
Yes, to his credit.
And see, there's another thing that shows that what I've always said about comedy and tragedy. He made, I remember being with him a few times where he made jokes about his sister. You know, really deranged stuff. But then you see, I mean, you know, he loved his sister.
Of course.
And his family was totally traumatized by it. But he could just be completely sick. I think if you could communicate with the dead and get in touch with Bob Saget, he would make completely bad taste jokes about his own death. He was that kind. He would just really
staying true to his art to the end.
Yes, yes.
To the bitter end. It's a big loss for us personally, for Gilbert and Jeff and Stamos and obviously a lot of his friends and fans.
And I put up a photo too. I was on the beach with Jeff, and we're holding up a phone, and on the phone is Bob Saget, because we're sitting on the beach and said, "Hey, let's call Bob."
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else we can add. Rest in peace, Bob.
Well, a study this week reports seafood is good for you unless it's fried. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A new study says that people who quit smoking have healthier lungs. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A person who suffers 2 sharp, powerful blows to the head within a short period of time can suffer brain damage or even die. This, according to a new study in the medical journal, Duh. Dr. Jack Kevorkian was responsible for another death this week, this time a 58-year-old woman. She is the 26th of Kevorkian's patients to die since 1990. When are people going to realize he is not a good doctor? Do not go to this man. He's incompetent. He's terrible. Dr. Jack Kevorkian and 7 associates have unveiled new guidelines for doctors in planning physician-assisted suicide. Rule number 1, get paid in advance. In a Michigan courtroom this week, Dr. Jack Kevorkian was acquitted of murder charges after jurors agreed that he had made a compelling argument for assisted suicide. Last week, during his latest trial on charges of assisted suicide, Dr. Jack Kevorkian startled a Michigan courtroom when he stood up and shouted, "This is a lynching." Everyone turned to look, and sure enough, he just lynched some old guy. Tomorrow night on 60 Minutes, Dr. Jack Kevorkian will sit for his first ever in-depth interview. According to producers, Kevorkian agreed to the interview only on condition that it be conducted by veteran correspondent Andy Rooney. Wait. Don't do it, Andy. It's a trap. It's a trap. This week, Dr. Jack Kevorkian was granted an emergency 30-day permit to carry a handgun after telling a court that he fears, quote, right-wing nuts. But if you ask me, you know, I think Kevorkian's just getting a little lazy, you know? In other news, authorities in Pontiac, Michigan are trying to determine if Dr. Jack Kevorkian was involved in the death of a woman whose body was found in the back of his suicide van. You know, I'm no expert in police work, but yes! In music news, Dr. Jack Kevorkian has performed and recorded a 1-hour CD of his own jazz compositions for the flute. You know, Dr. Kevorkian, I've listened to your CD, and I've got some advice. Don't quit your day job, all right? You know, murdering old people, stick with that. Stay away from the flute and stick with the murdering old people. This is my advice. Dr. Jack Kevorkian announced this week that he will start to offer organs taken from his suicide patients to people who need transplants. In addition, Kevorkian promised that anyone who does not get a life-saving organ will receive a free murdering. There was outrage in Detroit this week when Dr. Jack Kevorkian helped a woman commit suicide in a local church, leaving her body inside the church building. According to Kevorkian, murdering people in his van has almost completely lost its sense of blasphemy. Hello, how are you? And finally, in medical news, there are reports that suicide doctor Jack Kevorkian is considering retirement. As Kevorkian put it, "I always said I'd quit the day it stopped being fun." Well, the holidays are upon us again, and that can mean only one thing: a dramatic increase in suicides. Hi, I'm Dr. Jack Kevorkian. You know, after I introduced my suicide machine 2 years ago, I got a flood of letters thanking me. But I also received letters like the following. Hey, Dr. Kevorkian, your machine is great for people with painful terminal illness.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer...
Dr. James Watts, a neurosurgeon who performed the first frontal lobotomy, died this week in Washington. If you recall, a lobotomy involves drilling holes in the skull and then inserting and rotating a knife to destroy brain cells. What a genius, he'll be missed. Psychiatrist Kurt Freund, one of the world's leading experts on the study of deviant sexual arousal, passed away last week at the age of 82. Dr. Freund's last words were, quote, "Whatever happens to me, can someone please make sure that the headline of my obituary does not contain the phrase deviant sexual arousal?" Would that be too much to ask from you, you dirty...
One quick Mitch Hedberg story. So I opened up for Mitch Hedberg like 22 years ago, and he comes up to me after the show and he goes, "Hey, Artie, man, you're a fat guy." I go, that's what he said. I go, I could lose a couple, but what are you talking about? He goes, "I wrote a joke that I can't do because I'm not fat, but I'll give it to you." I go, all right. He goes, "You know when you're a kid and they tell you to wait a half an hour after you eat before you go swimming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You should say you've never been swimming because it's never been more than a half an hour since you last ate." And I go, "That's a great joke. Can I can have that joke?" He goes, "Yeah." So then he comes back, and he was smoking a lot of weed. So he comes back totally serious. He goes, "Hey, man, you're right. That is a good joke. I'll make you a deal. If I gain like 100 pounds before you do that on TV, I get the joke." I'm like, all right, whatever. So, okay, so cut to like a month later. I'm with Norm MacDonald having dinner with people. And Norm does that joke about me. He goes, "Hey, man, it's Artie's never been swimming. It's never more than a half an hour since he last ate." I'm like, "Where the fuck did you hear that joke?" He goes, "I heard a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store." I go, "Really?" So I see Mitch 2 weeks later. I go, "Mitch, what the fuck, bro? You gave me that joke. Norm said he saw a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store." So he's all fucked up, and he goes, "Hey, Artie, man, listen, I'm sorry. I get fucked up a lot. I forget shit. I probably gave that to a lot of fat guys."
Homework liker, who is becoming my new best friend,
yes,
says Norm carries 46 clubs in his bag. Yeah, club sandwiches.
I do like a club sandwich.
That's not an insult. That's harmless, Josh.
I do like a club sandwich.
Mitch Hedberg had a great run.
Oh yes, what was it?
Like, what do you have to
join the club?
Yeah, do you have to join? What I don't even would never dare. Okay.
Do you like sandwiches that have a toothpick in them?
Okay.
With green and red cellophane? I do too. Perhaps we should begin a club. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I order the club sandwich all the time, and I'm not even a member, man. I don't know how I get away with it. I like my sandwiches with 3 pieces of bread. So do I. Well, let's form a club. Okay. But we need some more stipulations. Yes, we do. Instead of cutting the sandwich once, let's cut it again. Yeah, 4 triangles. Yeah, and in the middle, we shall dump chips.
Let me ask you a question. How you feel about frilly toothpicks? I'm for them. Well, this club is formed then. I like to take a toothpick and throw it in the forest and say, "You're home."
And he had a golf joke.
He did?
That's good. He said, "When I'm golfing, I never say 4. I can't think of it in time because I'm busy saying, no way it's going to hit those guys."
I play golf. I'm not good at golf. I never got good. I never got a hole-in-one, but I did hit a guy, and that's way more satisfying. You're supposed to yell 4, but I was too busy mumbling, "There ain't no way that's gonna hit him."
You know, when it comes to racism, people say, "I don't care if they're black, white, purple, or green." Oh, hold on now. Purple or green, you gotta draw the line somewhere. To hell with purple people. Unless they're suffocating. then help them.
And I know people, hate people for all kinds of reasons, Some people hate people because they're a different color, black or white or something like that. I don't care if a guy's black, what. Hey, let me tell you something. I got a thing I realized. When a guy's racist is when he goes, if he says something like this, he goes, I don't care if a guy's black or white or brown, yellow, blue, green, or anything. You're like, what the fuck is green? I don't care if a guy's purple. Any of those goddamn non-human colors, they're all the same to me. Purple, black, same thing to me. If the guy's a black guy or a purple guy, I treat him the same. Isn't a purple guy? That's a fucking monster from outer space. Who the hell likes those guys? You gotta kill those guys, right?
Flew with him randomly twice, just randomly.
Just like
right
happened to be in the plane?
Totally.
Really?
Total dumb luck.
Crazy.
On 2 separate occasions, Norm sat right next to me. And he's like, I can't believe this is happening again.
What a treat.
Yeah, the last one was hilarious. We have this long conversation. We're having a great old time. And he's telling me, I quit smoking. And I don't like to smoke anymore. It's just terrible. It's so hard to quit, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
We land, and he immediately walks right into a gift shop and buys cigarettes. And he goes, I changed my mind. I want to start smoking again. And he's lighting before he gets out the door. I mean, he's so impulsive. He's like lighting as he's walking towards the door. I'm like, whoa, like, Norm, what are you doing? He goes, I guess I smoke again. But that's, there's people out there that are like pretending to be wacky.
Right. He's really wacky.
I love those people. There's so few of them.
Who just themselves, like, no matter what.
Yeah, that's who Norm is. He's great. And he's so funny. I have a great story about Norm, me and him on a plane. And randomly, this is crazy, but true, randomly, twice I sat next to him on planes. Just randomly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, totally randomly. Like, what's up, Norm? What's up, Norm? Like, crazy, this is happening again. And both times it was a blast. But one time we're flying back, and he's like, I used to smoke, and I had to give it up. It's fucking terrible for you. But sometimes I miss it. But glad I quit. I'm like, how long has it been? He's telling me all these months. He stopped smoking, this and that. We're talking. As soon as we land, he walks right into the fucking store, buys a carton of cigarettes, and he's opening this cigarette. He's lighting it before he gets out the door. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, all that talk about smoking, I had to have one. And the flight from I forget where we even were, 2 times. Both times were just like the best flights, like just like having an audience of one next to one of the greatest comics ever and just be able to talk shit. Yeah, completely randomly, 2 times in my life I sat next to him on a plane. Just totally random.
Weird. I was in Vancouver, ran him at the airport.
Yep, once in Vancouver and once somewhere else. And the last one, he was talking about, I quit smoking. He's telling me how he quit smoking. It was hard. It was really hard to quit, and I did it. And, fucking smoking's terrible for you. So we land. He walks as fast as he can off the plane right into one of those stores and buys a pack of cigarettes. And he's opening up it, and he's got one in his mouth as he's out the door.
He went on for an hour about how it's terrible for you. He's so glad he's out over it.
So I'm outside with him. I go, what are you doing? I thought you quit smoking. He goes, but all that fucking talking about it, I wanted a cigarette.
So was he being funny, or was he just a weirdo?
No. He was just a genius.
Didn't drive, right? Didn't he not drive? Just invited people to go do tennis and stuff, so he'd be like, pick me up on the way.
His brain was just wired different.
Yeah.
It was just wired different all the time. But like he just decided, wow, let's smoke. And just, he couldn't light it quick enough on the way out the door. I randomly wound up sitting next to him on planes twice. On 2 different occasions, just like I go, Norm, like out of nowhere, and he's sitting next to me. And one time, we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're having a good old time. And then he's talking about, I quit smoking. He's telling me how he quit smoking and fucking, finally quit smoking. And he's telling me all these things. And then when he lands, he literally like he can't stop himself, runs into the airport store and buys cigarettes. And he's lighting it as he's leaving. I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did. But all that talking about smoking makes me want one. And he's like, before he even got out the door, he's lighting the cigarette. He just couldn't stop himself.
But I like he goes, all that talking. He's the one talking about it. All that talking. He always puts it on you. That's what's great about it.
But he's like, this guy talks about smoking. He got me back smoking. But it was so crazy because I was like, that's great, Norm. It's so great you quit. And he's like, fuck, I want a cigarette.
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning.
Well, good to be here, eh? I quit smoking. You ever try to do that? Man, that's a tough thing, huh?
Do you think this to be a funny thing, or do you really have to kind of
I'm doing it.
feel
No,
like...
I feel that I have an oral fixation. You know about that.
Do you know about this girl? She's mad at you. She was on the Greg Fitzsimmons show. Did you hear anything about this?
I know Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Greg does a show for us, and Greg was interviewing some girl, and she was going off.
I know who it is.
What's the girl's name?
You know, me and Norm have worked with her before. That's why he's going to laugh when I say the name. Laura Keitling. Hates your guts.
Did you know she hates you?
Oh
my God. Do you want to hear the clip? Sure. All right.
When Dirty Work came out, Comedy Central had a show called Canned Ham. It promoted movies, and me and Norm did it.
Oh, she hosted.
And she was the host. And she seemed, right? But she seemed fine.
You have no problem with her.
She was on SNL.
Okay, listen to the comment on this, if you will.
By the way, wait, can I interrupt your old friend, Norm MacDonald? Did you guys write together on,
He's not a friend of mine.
Roseanne, right? Well, I was just using it loosely.
Now, you had a reaction just now to Norm MacDonald. Not a friend, not a fan.
You worked with him, though.
At Saturday Night Live.
Roseanne.
No, I missed him at Roseanne. Well, I came in, and he was supposed to be the my guide through SNL, and it turned out that he is a shit stirrer.
He was busy pissing in a bucket in front of people.
Well, no, he loves to pit people against each other. He used to find articles where somebody said one thing, and then he'd stand in the doorway and laugh. He'd find an article where Janine said something about Adam, and just create all this havoc. So it's funny that you said that, because he's probably one of the few people I really don't like.
Yeah. Norm is someone who really sticks out.
Well,
to you.
because it was such a kind of a vulnerable time, being because it was the first time I'd ever done live TV and stuff, and he really, and for all of us, really kind of made it difficult.
What about Norm MacDonald? You're at war with him as well. You two don't like each other.
Warring with Norm?
Here's what Norm said.
Oh, good.
I got it for you. All right. Chris and Norm MacDonald apparently hate each other. This is according to my notes. When Norm hosted Saturday Night Live, Chris did not appear on the show. Wow.
Wait, when was...
In November of '97.
Oh, right.
Norm said of Chris, I don't know, but to me he seems gay. He claims he's not, but I've never seen a guy who's not gay seem so gay. I don't find him funny. What can I say? Never made me laugh. What happened between... First of all, I don't believe you're gay, are you? I know someone you dated.
No, I'm not gay.
Yeah, you did.
And he's certainly had to have laughed at you once or twice.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a funny guy.
Right.
Well, that was the
your characters. Some of your characters are effeminate, so maybe people will think you're gay.
Like Mango's, he's
gay.
Queer as day.
Right. So
yeah.
So is Norm a homophobe? Is that the problem? He doesn't like gay characters?
I definitely think he has a problem with
But give me the history of this. I love feuds.
Okay, let's see. I don't know
You
exactly.
didn't appear on the show for a reason. You just
No. I don't. I just think I didn't get my sketches in. It wasn't like I'm not appearing in the show.
And when you're on Saturday Night Live, I've heard this before. When you say you didn't get your sketches in, you have to write your own material. If you don't get it in, if
it doesn't pass muster,
then you're not on the show.
Right.
Wow, a lot of pressure.
Yeah, every week.
So do you have to hire separate guys to help you write material?
No. I mean, they're there. There's people you write with normally. So
right, okay. Because I heard some people don't help other people. You know.
No, some people don't.
Right.
But I'm not. Because I'm not exactly the easiest guy to write for, though. I'm not like. I'm not an everyman. I can't be the boyfriend all the time. I'm more of a freak.
So why Norm MacDonald? I mean, Norm is an easygoing guy. I know Norm. Why the dislike? Something happened.
Well, let's see. When I first got on the show, he was so nice. He and Spade,
right,
were just so nice. And then I don't know what happened. He just started. Garth Brooks was, we did a pitch meeting, and he started saying things in the pitch meeting you don't want to do Garth Brooks was a guest.
Yeah.
Was a guest. I was like, I'm sure you don't want to do another fag sketch. Things like that. People would laugh.
Oh, dear.
I was like, why is he saying all of this? And then it got kind of old, Jesus, Norm, you're another...
And it makes you inhibited in a writing meeting if someone's goofing on you every time you open up your mouth, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't care because I'm not gay. If I was some gay guy going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm just...
Right.
And so the gay jokes kept going and going and going.
Yeah, the gay jokes kept going and going.
And then you finally said, hey, I've had it with you, Norm.
Well,
Did you ever confront him?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but it's like a playful thing. He says it's like a Jack Benny, Fred Allen kind of a feud thing.
But you don't see it that way.
No, I think he's I don't know. But he this is what happened. We were on a flight together. We didn't plan on being together on the same flight. We were flying from LA back to New York to do Saturday Night Live, and it was a red eye. And he's behind me, and we're, getting along, whatever. He's talking about crapping on women, or I don't know what he was talking about. Something like that.
Yeah,
and it was funny because he was so loud,
right?
So everyone else could hear it. I'm like, I just crap on this girl.
Yeah.
And I'm like, laughing.
Right.
Because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And then I wake up, and, because it's a red eye, and one of my shoes is missing. And I'm like, where's my shoe? And Norm's like, hey, you lost your shoe, huh? And then he leaves. And I'm like, so disoriented. And I'm the last guy in the flight looking for my shoe. And I just, walk off the plane with one shoe. And all the stewardesses like, you are funny.
Oh, no. So he stole your shoe.
He stole my shoe.
And he's playing goofs on you. He's not respecting you.
Right.
Right.
And then I took his jacket on a really cold night.
Yes.
And his assistant called me at home going, I got to get Norm's jacket. Please get me Norm's jacket. And she was like freaking out.
Right.
I was like, no, this is between Norm and I.
You can't play in this game.
I've interviewed Chris before. He's a good guy. Chris.
Thank you.
Is it not true that Jim Brewer, your former cast member, had a problem with you as well?
I think at one point he thought I stole an idea from him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, man, there's so much infighting. You got to admit.
But that's it, though.
Really?
That's not much for like 6 years.
With a lot of the cast members, and I think with Chris, do you remember that Rolling Stone cover came out, and they only put certain members of SNL on the cover?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Didn't that cause a lot of strife inside?
Yeah, well...
Why, they only chose certain amount of people for the cover. It was you.
Right, it was Will, me, Molly Shannon, and Sherry O'Terry.
And you did the cover, and the rest of the cast felt like, hey, what are we, garbage?
What is this?
But why be mad at you?
Because of our characters, too. It was like there was the cheerleaders.
You were the breakout guys.
Roxbury guys.
Right.
And Mary Catherine.
But aren't they mad or jealous because you guys broke out and they didn't? And don't they think that you should stick up for them and insist that they be on the cover as well? But you don't have that kind of juice.
No, what are we gonna?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only makes sense that they would be on the cover, but what are we gonna do? I mean, Norm wanted to be. There's a big stink because he wanted to be on the cover
by himself.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know if he wanted. No, he wanted to be
in that picture.
I don't know. He showed up later, and then he wanted to be. He wanted to stand in the middle of us.
And you said no.
Well, it was just like weird.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why are you
like who are you?
Like here, it's like my variety show. What?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess he thought he was the guy. All right, Chauncey, thanks. All right. Artie Lang, go ahead.
Hey, Howard, what's up, man?
Yeah, hey, Artie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, I like Chris. I think he's funny, but what he said before about that Rolling Stone cover is wrong.
All right, go. Artie's going to defend Norm, I guess.
Norm represents.
You might be wrong.
All right, go ahead.
No, it's just that, Chris made it sound like Norm showed up begging to get on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Oh, no, he wasn't begging. He was just, like, assuming he was on the cover with us.
Well, he was, though.
I know he was.
But he wanted to stand in the middle as well.
No. They were begging Norm to do it. And he thought it seemed weird.
He didn't want to do it.
Right. He thought it seemed weird to stand in the middle of all you guys.
Oh, that's true.
They definitely wanted Norm to be on the cover because at the time, I mean, he was the funniest guy on the show. Howard, you've said that a million times.
Right.
I think Norm is hysterical.
He is. I already said that.
Yeah, and so does Chris.
But, I think he made it sound like Norm's begging to get on the cover of Rolling Stone.
No.
You guys said no.
Hey, Artie, do you know why Norm has such a problem with Chris?
No.
What is his problem?
I don't know. I wasn't there when they met or all that stuff happened.
He's never really...
Well, you are Mrs. Norm MacDonald.
Wait a minute, you weren't there during the shoot either, but you know all about that.
As a matter of fact, I was, because me and Norm had already done the movie, and I had lunch with his assistant. We went over there.
There you go.
They said that this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, turns out to be the president.
Yeah, now I know Don Ohlmeyer, and just between you and me, he's an idiot.
Oh.
So I wouldn't take it seriously. If this guy fired you, you may still have a job. You never know.
Norm is here. Norm's so much in the news every time I turn around.
What? Oh, me in the news?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Hotter than ever.
Yeah.
My gosh. Looks like they did you a big favor over there at NBC.
Yeah, they hate me.
Oh, but look what happened to you. Became a movie star, just like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But hadn't you already started filming this movie long before that whole controversy began?
Yeah.
So what do you make of all this?
What do I make of it?
Yeah, what's the point?
Well, the point of
they're
what?
trying to make, you know.
Who?
So
you got to explain to the people.
No, they read the papers. They know.
Yeah, they know that NBC has banned promotion or commercials featuring your movie on their network.
Yeah, because this character, Don Ohlmeyer, he's the president of NBC, you see?
Yeah.
And he hates me.
Yeah.
But you've only met him one time, I understand.
I've only met him once.
So this is not a personal reason that he hates you.
Yes, he hates me personally.
But you like him, don't you?
I think he's a fair enough fella. I met him once. He seems like a stand-up guy. I don't hate anybody.
That's
you
right.
know Don Ohlmeyer?
I've met him a couple of times, sure.
He seems like a nice enough fella.
Yes, absolutely.
And I don't, you know, put it this way. His best friend is O.J. Simpson, right? Now, if you can like O.J. Simpson, you can like me. You know what I mean?
I wonder what it is about you.
Feelings flowing up and down, picking up the pieces that you left behind, hitting a new type of flow, breathing in the smoke and clearing up my mind. The thoughts of you, I never knew what the hell you got me into. What do you mean?
Barbara Walters never listens to me.
Barbara, are you listening?
Yeah.
I have to talk to Sherry Shepherd. Fortunately, we share views on dinosaurs. But I can never get that lady, the old lady.
You are really wild. I mean, you're wild in that show, and you're wild in person.
What?
Yeah. Don't you think?
No, I think you're wild.
What is it like on the set of that show with you?
What is it like? Well, what do you mean?
What do I mean? Well, because you're so average.
She thinks you're wacky.
Well, I'm just saying it's hard to memorize. We're not walking around the set going, hey, you know.
So, unless you've been living under a rock, Star Wars. I do not understand why people stand in line for days and days and days. They can't see the movie in 2 weeks. I mean, they don't have jobs. In any event, so I went to see Star Wars. I have never seen any of the Star Wars, and I felt terrible about it until I learned that
I never saw it. Never saw the first one.
I never saw any of them.
No.
You never saw anything? No. You never wanted to see Star Wars?
No, I never liked them.
I
don't like those science fiction because my dad always hated them. And you know how you try to be what your dad, you try to be, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was a kid, I watched that Twilight Zone. Remember that show?
Yeah.
And oh my God, my dad hated it because it was too fantastical, and he thought I should be doing the chores. And I remember one time, me and my brother were watching Star Wars.
My son was. Have you ever seen Star Wars?
That's Norm.
We only have 2 more minutes.
I was just giving you a little backstory.
You were going to take steroids?
Yeah. But then I found out, you know that they shrink your testicles? Did you know that?
I thought that was the fun part. You know what? If you look at this little action figure, I'm telling you.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Too bad.
And I have to say, Norm, that speaking as you just did, you fit right into this panel. And we may just add you every day to our Hot Topics. Norm, you are.
Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. We'll be right back. So try these words out. Droll, sarcastic, controversial, hilarious. Well, those are some of the words that are used to describe Norm MacDonald's character on his sitcom, Norm. But as you will see in this clip, people may think twice before they use the words smooth or charming. Take a look.
Hey, Lori. Hey, look, I can see your underwear there.
You're supposed to see him.
Yeah, that's a little desperate, isn't it?
I'm playing tennis with Shelley.
You're playing tennis with Shelley?
Yeah.
Hey, I have an idea that would even be more fun for you. If I played tennis with Shelley, while you, I don't know what you do, who cares?
And in spite of that, please welcome Norm MacDonald.
What's up, man?
Okay, Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
Well, I hope that the Democrats don't steal the election from the winner, you know, but who knows?
You like George Bush, don't you?
I love George Bush, man. He's a good man, decent, you know, none of this. He's, you know, he's not a liar, a crook, murderer, or anything like that. So it'd be good to get the. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to, you're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen,
Norm,
we don't need
I don't want to get into this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question.
Get with it. There you go.
This is a live show.
Why? Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up. Shut up. Look,
okay.
let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
So you thought about me in that way, and I thought about you. So the way I see it, we have two choices now. We can either go in the bedroom there, knock one out, and settle this once and for all. Or we can just pretend this never happened and, you know, play Scrabble or something.
Nobody's gonna change, you won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say them all I
Oh. Scrabble, excellent. All right. Well, good evening, Mr. President, Mrs. First Lady, and the distinguished members of the Radio and Television Correspondents' Dinner. You know, when I accepted the honor of performing here tonight, one thought crossed my mind, and that was, please, God, don't let me bomb in front of the President. Anyways, the dinner was great. You enjoyed the dinner? We had some salmon. Yeah, it was delicious. It was great, and I thought it was, you know, I thought it was refreshing to see Democrats serve something other than subpoenas for a change. I thought that was nice, you know? I'll be doing some jokes later. I just thought I'd... As Mr. Harledge knows, of course, TV has become a very tough game. You got to stay competitive, you know. As we all know, ABC's Good Morning America is in a little turmoil, you know, a little trouble, a little rating trouble. And they're considering a lot of ways now, you know, to boost the ratings. And I don't know, I think they're getting a little desperate. I heard that next week Charles Gibson will announce he's a lesbian. I mean, is that going to help anything? Nobody wants to hear that. And also today I took a visit to the White House. For any of you who haven't taken a visit to the White House, unbelievable. So, you know, awe-inspiring and, you know, a lot rich in history, so beautiful, you know. Although I did notice a kind of an odd sign on the president's desk. It said, the yen stops here. Have you seen it? What the hell does that mean? The yen? I thought it was the buck stops here, I'd always heard. You got to hand it to the president. His injury is not holding him back from doing the business of the nation, you know. In fact, he just nominated Major General Claudia Kennedy as the Army's first female 3-star general. And I think that's great, you know. She's doing a great job. Apparently, the only thing she's having trouble with, she's having difficulty figuring out how to sexually harass herself. She doesn't know how to... What's that? Guy yells my name for no reason.
Let me ask you something. Now, I knew you when you started here in L.A., but you're from Canada.
Yeah.
You started in Canada. I did some gigs in Canada, and it's a little different, isn't it?
It's kind of rough there because they got like a lot of people that like hate me.
Oh, well, that could be a disadvantage.
That's rough going in. But so, it was all like, you go to these crazy places like Medicine Hat or Red Deer.
Yeah.
Or I played one place, Head Smashed In, Buffalo Jump. It was a crazy place.
Yeah.
And you know how it got its name? It was a guy, in the old days, the buffalo used to run and open in the plains. It was beautiful, you know, way back in the 70s. And they would run. And so the way they'd catch him is, Jay, they'd dig a hole with a shovel.
Right. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
And then they dig the hole with the shovel, and then the buffalo, they're dumb animals. They just run, you know, and run, and then fall into the hole, right? So one time this Indian dude, a brave, you know, he was digging the hole, and he didn't hear all the buffaloes were already running. And then all the buffaloes fell on his head and smashed it in. So then they called the town Head Smashed In Buffalo Jump. It's very... unwieldy name.
Really? We've got one...
Do you think the LGBT community, do you know, first of all, do you even know what it stands for?
Yeah.
What is that for?
Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender.
Is it? I don't know if you're right. But...
I mean, you can make up whatever acronyms you want.
Well, you got a computer, you can look it up.
I'm not going to look up what LGBT means.
Well, somebody
I know what
LGBT
means.
I don't think that's what it means. Because B, I mean, all B's are G.
All bisexuals are gay?
Well, yeah. Obviously, right?
Well, they have gay components they can be attracted to.
All B's are G. All L's are B. I'm sorry.
Well, you're saying all bisexuals are gay and lesbian.
I'm trying to do some syllogisms. No. I'm saying, do you think any of them go, I wonder if those... Do you ever think at the meetings they go, could I, because, you know, their community, the LGBT community, I don't know where it exists, where they have their headquarters, but do you ever think the L's, the G's, and the B's go, I have an idea. The T's, you know, I think it's LGB sounds good. And then somebody else would go, somebody with a hat that looked like Carmen Miranda's, would go, no, I like LGBT. And then the other person, you're going to get a lot of trouble for this segment.
I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
I love everybody. You know what I mean? Without love, what do we got? I don't care if a guy's a guy, a girl, a guy, girl. I couldn't care less. I love them all.
What do you make of...
I'll have sex with any of them.
So you're the B.
Huh?
You're the B.
No, I'm a person that is so tolerant that I would have sex with an L, a G, a B, or a T. Isn't that nice? But I would not have sex with a straight person.
Do we have one more question from Scott? Scott, jump back in and you can wrap us up.
You asked me
here.
about my podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, Periscope did.
Yeah,
Is
Periscope.
it coming back?
Yeah, the problem with my podcast, I only get guests that are interesting, unlike you. You know, you have to just, whoever they throw in here, you know, you have to.
Yeah, but you're good. You're interesting.
I'm all right. You know, if we could start it all over, I would, you know.
What would you start with?
First of all, I just start with how much I love Caitlyn Jenner and how courageous I think she is. And all transgenders, you know, are courageous, you know, except the ones that are serial killers. I don't care for them. I'm torn, actually, with the because I love the part of them that is transgender so much. There's only been 2 in the history of the world, you know.
Transgender people or transgender serial killers?
Transgender serial killers. Ed Gein, and there was another fellow. Lady. And so I'm torn because the transgender part of them I love so much, and the serial killer part of them, I mean, I don't care for that. You know, I mean, you know, let me just go out on a limb here and say, I am against psychosexual sadists who slay people.
But it's a difficult balance because, on the other hand,
I love transgenders so much.
Yeah,
I love them.
Well,
you know, if I could have sex with a transgender every day for the rest of my life, I'd be a happy man.
As long as they're not straight.
Yeah, I don't want no straight people. I don't like straight people.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Everybody but straight people.
Everybody but straight people.
Straight people, I got no use for. Now, you're a good man.
I got to kick you out.
All right, baby.
Otherwise, your publicist.
I love you, man.
I love you too, Norm.
It was really nice. I mean, I don't love you in that way.
Well, unless I'm not straight.
Yeah.
Much more coming up, Norm.
Are you?
Watch this space.
All right.
It's been a while, and I still like the way you look at me. I keep
Everything.
Oh, yeah.
Funny.
Oh,
you know, it's, I really have to give it to that guy that's the father, you know, Carlos...
Leon.
Carlos Leon.
Or Carlos Leon, I forget which one.
Because you got to have a lot of guts. That means he had sex with Madonna without a condom. Yeah. That's great.
You know what I always admire about you, Norm? You like to set the tone right away. You like to come out and sort of set the table for everybody and say, this is what we'll be doing.
This guy was telling me all kinds of stuff. He told me that, he said, I don't know if you know this. This is an interesting thing. He told me, did you know that elephants do not really have a good memory?
I didn't know that. Is that true?
Well, that's what this guy said. And then,
well, then it must be true.
He also said that on, you know that show Star Trek?
Yeah.
He said the actual name of the starship was not the Star Trek. It was the Enterprise.
These are gems for people at home. I hope they're writing them down.
I like that Madonna's baby thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, it's, I really have to give it to that guy that's the father, you know, Carlos...
Leon.
Carlos Leon.
Or Carlos Leon, I forget which one.
Because you got to have a lot of guts. That means he had sex with Madonna without a condom. Yeah. That's great.
Oh.
So, but one big news story: Twister is the big what do you call it? Movie, yeah. Twister's a big movie, and I got some news. Apparently now, they're thinking about Oscars for the movie.
Yeah,
they're thinking of Best Actor for The Wind. Before the show, you said that stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right.
I did. They showed me a sheet of some stuff Norm might talk about. We all know these are completely spontaneous. And I picked that one out. I circled it and said, that ain't going to work. I know this crowd.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm your friend. I'm looking out for you. But you got other ones that I thought were terrific.
Yeah, I didn't like them that much. But it was very thrilling. The big thing was he forced them to do this. The big problem that Clinton has is this thing where he's going to pardon the McDougalls.
He may or may not pardon them. Yeah, people don't know. The Whitewater people, we call them here
right.
at the show.
And he said today, he was on the Good Morning America show, Clinton, and he said that he says he may pardon the McDougalls if they're, if they go to jail, he may pardon them. And then they asked him, they said, what about Hillary if she, if she is, because she's also a co-conspirator.
Yeah, if she gets sent away.
If she gets sent away, will he pardon her? And Clinton said, you do the time, you do the crime, you do the time, he said.
That was so sweet, you moved into three-point range and up and at the last second fouled. All right.
I don't know about politics. All I know is yesterday it was windy.
Now, you see, to me...
You know that, right?
To me, Norm, this sounds like a topic you can sink your teeth into.
Yeah, exactly.
It was windy.
This is what the people really care about. Yesterday in New York, you guys know how windy it was, right? I'll tell you, it was so windy. I was walking down the street. I seen a robin. You know them robins?
Yeah.
He was pulling like a worm out of the ground.
Yeah.
Got whiplash. I never saw anything like it. You know robins pull worms out of the ground? No, I've never seen a robin.
Your mind's always going.
I'm always thinking about the jokes from the paper, so I can come on, especially when I come on your show,
Sure.
You know how I come on your show and I always try to have some jokes from the newspaper?
Sort of like now, yeah.
So here's the joke I got.
Yeah.
Y'all know about this woman, right, from Denmark that left her baby out in the street?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, folks? Yeah. I don't like it either. I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Good joke.
Oh, no. That was the premise.
Update would be so easy for you. It would be such a great gig if that's all you did.
That's all
what do you think about that, Boo? Yeah, all right. And in another story, President Clinton hurt his knee. What do you think? Oh, too bad. Yeah, okay.
No, the point of it is this. I have a joke about it.
Okay.
Because they got reunited today.
Oh.
It was in the newspaper, in the New York Post and the New York Daily News. And so I was thinking, now they're flying back to Denmark, and this crazy woman puts the baby out on the wing.
It's like with comics, it's like you have to love doing what you do and actually do it.
You're so
you know
right.
what I mean? Like you can't just be lazy. That skates by for when you're naturally funny. You can be lazy at first, but eventually you got to get your shit together and work. It's
A lot of people don't know that you're on the road like 300-something days a year. You're doing stand-up.
I was trying to, B.B. King told me he did 320 days a year. Big man, with, and he had to prick his fingers. Everybody used loose steel. So I said, I'm going to try beat B.B. King. If he can do it, I can do it. But I never got past 300 I did last year.
But it was kind of a lot. Wow. You're like the Jay-Z of stand-up.
These broken pieces I hold in my hands don't have a chance to mend at all. Before they get thrown into chaos again, I try to pretend I'm whole enough to stand in this world so unsteady.
American Music Awards. This is exciting. I'm not actually in music, so let me introduce myself. To those of you who don't know me, I'm Norm MacDonald. For those of you not familiar with me, thank you very much. I am the biological child of Melissa Etheridge and Norm Crosby. So if you want to... Well, that's the big story in music news right now. Melissa Etheridge asked her friend David Crosby to be the biological father of her children. And you know, this was a new experience for David Crosby. Usually when David Crosby picks up a turkey baster, there's a turkey in the vicinity. That's right. He's a fat guy. You know, everyone's so obsessed with their careers nowadays in music, you know what I mean? Here's a kind of a nice story. Celine Dion is retiring from music to try to start a family, you know? And I think she's serious about it, because I just saw her backstage chasing David Crosby with a bucket and a copy of Swank. So I think she's serious about it. I didn't know the Judds were back together. Did you know that? I just saw them. I just saw the Judds backstage. Yeah, you're big Judds fans? I just saw the Judds backstage chasing David Crosby around with 6 mason jars and a ham sandwich tied on a fishing pole. I don't know what it means.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer away.
David, Melissa Etheridge has been to the society. Is a very special person. You helped her have 2 beautiful, smart children. How did you decide to give Melissa Etheridge something special?
That clock is set at 10 past 10, and
Why?
that's because this guy drinks like a fish, and we want to remember, you know, remind him how to drive. To drive, you're supposed to put your hands at 10 and 2. Did you know that?
No.
That's all very true. You never heard that?
No.
You never heard tell of that?
Tell of that.
You never heard tell of that?
You know, nobody says that anymore. You never heard tell of that?
Because we have a thing here in the United States where you go and talk in front of the president. So you do a stand-up comedy, which is what I do.
To the president?
To the president and a bunch of press people.
When?
It's like a roast. Yeah. You never heard of that? Never heard tell of that?
Go and do comedy at the president.
Yeah.
He sits down, you go and do some comedy.
Well, not right to him, not just one-on-one.
Right.
There's a bunch of press people.
The White House correspondence.
It's called the White House correspondence.
And so the guy, I said, what do you do for a living there, sir? You know, if you don't mind me asking. You know, what do you do for a living? I'm a nightclub comic, I tell the guy. So he says to me, he says, I work down at the University of Science there. He says, that's a good school, by the way. I can't remember the exact place. Sure. But he says, I'm a professor of logic. Oh. So he says, the guy says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that.
Holy crow.
You say more things that nobody says anymore. Holy crow. I haven't heard that since '58.
Mick Jagger, I guess.
You met Mick Jagger. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Holy crow, what happened there? What's the story? There's got to be some story there.
Well, it was a... You really want to hear?
Yeah.
Holy crow?
I mean, meeting Mick Jagger?
You met Mick Jagger. You met everybody.
I've never met Mick Jagger.
On SNL, you met pretty much
I was in the years
everybody.
Where they had bad hosts.
What? I hosted.
That's true. If this were a memoir, if this were a memoir, I would tell about my wife. What a battle axe.
A battle axe?
I mean,
no one's called their wife a battle axe since 1945. They're saying John Hodgman might be the possible guy who could replace Craig Ferguson. What about him?
Well, you see, he's too smart. He's, nobody wants an egghead or a blue stocking. What they want is,
No one's talked that way in 80 years. What do you mean? No one wants an egghead or a blue stocking. They want a ham and egg man. They want a guy who gets his hands dirty.
That's right. They want a fella like you and me, a man of the people. Okay, I'm gonna try this.
Do you like hot sauce?
Oh, I hate it. But you know, you gotta try new things in life.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you're right. Whoa! Son of a gun, that's hotter than a $2 pistol. Man alive.
Well, welcome to Phoenix. How long have you been in town?
I got in yesterday and I burned myself all over.
We said, what were you doing?
I know, it's hotter than a $2 pistol in this town.
So you're a little peeling a little bit on the nose?
Yeah.
So you don't come here often in the summer, is that what you're saying?
No.
Yeah, it's a good plan not to come in the summer.
And
it's nice every other
People leave
month.
in the summer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They scurry out.
Spent a lot of time in Southern California, San Diego.
Are you drunk? Because all you did was ride a cooler and you're sweating.
I am. Well, it's hot it's hotter than a $2 pistol.
Well, he's got like
in here.
12 layers on.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really cold.
Well, you're from Canada. This should be springtime for you.
No, I know I'm from Canada, but you know I'm still a human being. Like it's not like we evolved differently. Yeah, no, I'm from the frozen north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets colder than It gets colder than a...
here it comes. Get your finger on the panic button.
No, it gets colder than a vampire's demeanor.
Okay, that's better.
Wow. Surprisingly cerebral.
You said this is the coldest you've ever been. You're Canadian, so are you okay with this?
I've been colder than this. I've been colder than a vampire's...
Go on.
That's like
We're
an
waiting.
8 a.m. joke.
We can do it at 7:19. The stage is yours.
Larry, can I borrow $25,000?
Whoa! That's a lot of money, Norm. What's it for?
Well, you know, I think you probably know.
Gee, I usually don't lend that much money, Norm.
Larry, they say they're going to kill me.
All right, Norm, but I want it back.
Okay, all right. Good. You're a good man, a scholar, and a gentleman. Thank you.
You're a good man. Let's do business.
That's mighty fine, Harry. Let me tell you something, Harry. It's a pleasure and an honor to do business with a scholar and a gentleman like yourself.
Yeah, I'll keep in touch.
Well, hello, little lady.
Hey, Sid, how are you?
Why, I couldn't be better. I just broke into the wholesale business.
Wow, congratulations.
Do you know that my movies will be seen in every hotel in the Eastern Seaboard?
Every hotel?
Well, perhaps I'm bragging. Every hotel that allows facial cum shots.
Right. Porn business never sleeps.
Guys, I agree with you then. Oscar Pistorius is a scholar and a gentleman.
All right.
He's a murderer.
He turned it around on us. Alleged murder.
I play Geezer, who is me, actually. Geezer's just an old chunk of coal that, you know. Thank you for having this old chunk of coal from the Ottawa Valley on your big city program.
We are so pleased to have you with us, Norm.
But my Merle Haggard was opening for him, you know.
Okay.
And I'm just an old chunk of coal. And I like Merle.
Some of my strongest material comes from real life.
Real life?
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cards for our guests, yes.
Yeah, so I got in it, and I get material that way. So my driver...
What do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
My driver tells me a joke.
I'm scared now.
No, firstly, Conan, I'm thankful for the fine ladies who live across this country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me might have a meal from time to time.
Okay.
I am going to return to my former sexual lifestyle.
Well, yeah, what's that?
It's trying to find a lady and convincing her to let me lie down on top of her.
That sounds so romantic, the way you describe it. I want to lie down on top of you and take a nap? What do you...
I'm just an old chunk of coal that likes
Old chunk of coal. Yeah. Likes S&M, apparently.
No, that's what I was just trying to. I'm getting back to just lying on top of a lady.
Okay, all right.
How do you feel about a woman? She's supposed to be my life partner. I look in the mirror the other day and I says to her, honey, I look in the mirror and all I see is a fat, ugly old man. And I need you to give me a compliment. She says, all right then. Your eyesight is damn near perfect. I said, you dirty dog.
Wait, you called her a dirty dog?
A dirty dog.
A dirty dog.
Call me to say goodnight. Kiss me once or twice. I'll never let go of you. Fold me into your arms. Stay with you.
The thing I wanted to talk about is his diction, his word choice. I've always he spoke like someone from the 1920s. He would talk about hobos, and he would say, as my wife, a battle axe. Yeah. He talked in this way that was from a different time. I'm just an old lump of coal, and you thought, where is this coming from? And it didn't feel contrived. It was, and I don't know if it coming from this province in Canada.
Yeah, I think it does.
Because his, people can make up that kind of language and use it. This really came from him, and he would make these choices. Like, I remember once he was talking about a dog, a Doberman. And he kept calling it a Doberman.
That's right.
And you were like, why is he calling a Doberman a Doberman? He was doing it on purpose. He would do little things that would catch your ear.
And it's almost like poetry in a way. The way he would deliver and write his sets.
Yeah, he had a real facility for the English language.
Unbelievable.
Really amazing construction.
It all felt very spontaneous, but as I spoke to Robert Smigel,
who was the original head writer on the Late Night Show.
But more importantly, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Yeah. He refers to himself as Triumph the Insult. That's what it says on his... When he gets pulled over for speeding, it says on his driver's license, Insult Comic Dog, Triumph. Weight, 8 inches.
But he said... he saw him perform somewhere, and I don't know where. But he said Norm went on a run, and it was hilarious. And he went up to Norm and said, "That was amazing, that run you went on in the moment." And he said, "That wasn't in the moment. That was completely crafted. Every single word of it was written out."
I'll tell you something else too. Which
he was a craftsman.
Yeah, he was a craftsman.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, who's this Mr. Smarty Pants, he's one of those astrophysicists. I don't even know if that's what he is, but he's a smart guy who talks about the universe. He says the universe is blind to our sorrows and indifferent to our pains. Have a nice day.
I love Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Now, that's a clever little quip, but there's a mistake there. Not a typo or anything. I mean, a mistake in the theory. Because can anyone tell what the mistake in the theory is? I didn't until I saw Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald caught it. He says, Neil, there is a logic flaw in your little aphorism and seems quite telling. That seems quite telling. Since you and I are part of the universe, then we would also be indifferent and uncaring. Perhaps you forgot, Neil, that we are not superior to the universe, but merely a fraction of it. Nice day indeed.
Oh.
Boom, bam. So that's how our brains are conditioned in the Western world to see ourselves as separate from the universe. We're not separate from the universe. We are the universe. We're not separate from life. We are life. And there is no opposite of life. You go, what do you mean? There's death. Death is the opposite of birth. There is no opposite of life.
We're all interconnected.
We're all one energy. And that's what Neil deGrasse Tyson forgot. That there isn't the universe and us. We are the universe. So the universe really isn't and uncaring isn't blind to our sorrows and indifferent to our pains. It recognizes it through us. We are the consciousness of the universe. We are consciousness expressed through us. So why does the universe even happen? Why does the universe? So it can know itself, so we can expand, create, look at it, and now we're the eyes and the consciousness of the universe. We can see ourselves. Anyway, I just thought that was pretty interesting that a comedian outsmarted a smarty pants.
Where did you go?
I had to go powder my nose.
Oh, man. I've never seen a guest do that before.
I had to go.
You ran away during the commercial break.
I ran away. I freshened up. I powdered my nose.
Freshened up?
And then I took a piss in the sink.
All right. One of the stars of that.
I think we're short a cup.
What?
Well, we should have 2 cups.
You know, we should have 2 cups. What is wrong tonight? This is the weirdest show.
Oh, here's the cup.
Wow, there we go. That's a crack team we got.
I don't know how many of you guys have been in the South, but it's like, it's a different world down there. It's a completely different world down there. It's like, have you been to the South?
I rode the rails once through the South. Ran into a guy named Kitchener Leslie. A tough man he was. But a man still the same. Now I'm thinking in Norm's cadence.
So I was ordering my coffee, and I felt this weird, like, vibe behind me. It was weird. So I turned around, and this guy was, like, reaching for me. And I'm like, whoa.
What do you mean, reaching for you? Like, to touch you?
Yes. Don't do that. That's not cool.
Yeah, thank you.
That's not cool. So this
I grew up in Alabama.
I love the South. We have a lot of affiliates down there.
Hey.
The South. What do you always say, Norm?
Well, because I love the South, and I always say, if there was no South, there'd be no North.
There you go.
You know, this...
Exactly.
Somehow tonight, because of you, Norm, this talk show became a back porch.
Party with like my drunk, you know, the guy who's always telling those stories where you just have to sit, no, I mean, your stories are good, but you know what I mean?
What the hell was that?
No, you know what I mean, where you sit there and you're like,
listen, I'm not going to kid you. I enjoy the occasional smidgen of whiskey. I enjoy an occasional schooner of beer.
Schooner of beer?
I'm not
a schooner of beer.
Schooner.
I'm not going to say...
What century are you from? I like a flagon every now of mead, if you will.
All right, fine. Fine, I'll be a little more modern in words that you'll understand. I occasionally enjoy stuffing my mouth full of OxyContin.
Oh, jeez. All right, I'm ending this segment now.
Also, we've asked Norm MacDonald. I'm doing the Jimmy Kimmel Show on Wednesday night, and I have not boldly at all, I have total confidence. I will open my set on the Jimmy Kimmel Live Show on Wednesday night, December 3rd, with the joke that Norm MacDonald will write during this podcast. The only parameters, and it doesn't have to be this, but I'd like it to be about airport security, how intense it's gotten. Anything jump off?
What is because I've heard that it's more intense or something.
Well, the pat-downs...
I need more information.
The pat-downs are a little bit more invasive. People are saying that their genitals are being touched. One woman had to remove her fake breast. She had like a breast.
Well, what happened is the new scanners, some people are it's not just the metal detector. It's a scanner, and it sometimes depicts you in an embarrassing way. So more people are rejecting the scanner.
In other words, they can see you like with X-ray vision. They can see your body
So
naked.
now if you reject the scanner, which you're entitled to, you get a pat-down, but the pat-down is pretty thorough. And some people are saying, you can pat me down, just not, on my privates.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, no deal.
So the airlines are saying, well, you made a choice to fly, and with that choice comes what some people consider to be overstepping. Norm, let's update us. What do you got for me? Opening joke Jimmy Kimmel Live, Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We're looking for
What's going on?
Pat him down at the airport joke. Yeah. Now, again, no pressure. We've got another 12 minutes or so until this podcast is over.
Hey, do they ever do that thing where, isn't there something where they check your ass?
Yeah, it's a probe. Anal probe.
Do they do that at the airport? What?
That's a bad attempt. That's a bad attempt at a joke.
Gibbons
Mike, why don't you just say it, Mike?
Gibbons.
You don't want your fucking
He's an
fingerprints
artist.
on it?
He's an artist. No,
the TSA might think I keep my weapons between my festive testicles and what the fuck?
My anus.
And my anus.
Hey, what are you, in third grade? That's the stupidest joke I've ever heard. No wonder you handed it to him.
He didn't read the punchline.
What's the punchline?
Can I start from the beginning?
You know, you can't.
No, but what if I thought of something?
I'm trying to keep this ABC safe. This is the Disney.
Okay.
All right. TSA might think I keep my weapons between my testicles and my anus, but they'd be right. How about
you're going meta on meta?
You should go. TSA should know. I doubt they'll find anything on me because I keep all my weapons near my male G-spot. Give them that warning.
You want to open with that?
I love it.
If they're not on board for that,
what's a good
TSA
walk.
joke? You know what? If they don't laugh at that, I give them the finger. I walk off Jimmy Kimmel's stage.
I think working male G-spot into a joke is fairly new ground. I think it's kind of funny.
I want to go old ground on the first joke. I want something people can actually laugh at.
Listen, man, don't they put your fingers? Don't they put their fingers in your ass?
That's old school.
I've read that. I've heard about that.
They can put their fingers in your ass. Yeah.
Can
no,
they?
not fingers. One.
All right. Can you say that in a clean way?
Yeah, anal probe. They can do an anal probe.
Yeah.
Digit.
So can you say? Can you work? Can you? You know, I can just give you the. I can just give you the raw ingredients of a joke.
Give me the Garofalo.
I'll give you a tablet. Okay, so it's maybe they combine it somehow and check your prostate at the same time.
That's not. I see where you're going with it. So maybe it's like,
Wait,
I flew
Did
in.
I not just say male G-spot?
Yeah,
That's what it is.
No,
Shut
but
up,
this way
Mike.
it's like a health service. It's
I like it. So I just flew in from New York, and good news is
there you go.
I'm not carrying any loaded weapons. The bad news is
I have
6 months to live.
to live.
It needs more
Well,
explaining.
it needs more explaining though.
The
Raw
good news-
ingredients.
I had a digital exam.
They give me a digital exam at John F. Kennedy Airport.
Good news is I'm not a heroin mule. Bad news is I'm not a heroin mule.
So I just flew in from JFK, and man, I don't know how else to say this.
Is my prostate tired?
That could work.
Maybe.
Just flew in from John F. Kennedy
It's a
Airport,
little
and boy is my
The screening is crazy at these airports.
Cavity?
I just flew in from JFK, and boy, is my prostate tired. There you go.
Yeah, I
Boy,
think that's
is
a word.
my cavity. Yeah. It's a little leap.
I just flew in from John F. Kennedy Airport and flew in with my mother, and I had no idea she had such full round breasts.
Boy, is the security guard's finger tired. I don't know.
I just flew in from just got into the airport. I'm not saying that the exam was intense, but tomorrow night I'm meeting the guy's mother. I just flew in. They gave me an exam that was so intense. The good news, that hemorrhoid's gone.
The bad news is I have an impacted molar.
Now that's intense. That's deep.
Boy, is the TSA guy's arm tired. That's close. It's a tough TSA. It's tricky.
No, it's not. This is easy.
Is it?
Just flew in. Flight was on time. I can tell because the guy screening me's watch is up my ass.
That's a great one.
There we go. Okay, done. I'm glad I had you write a joke for me, Norm
Were
MacDonald.
you just sitting on that the whole time?
No, I just thought of that.
That's
Know that in this day nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same.
Okay, cool, man.
You're the kind of guy that likes games. Here's
Yeah, I love
a game that I thought of today. It's called Talk Your Way Out of It. I'm going to give you a situation that you're stuck in, and you're going to need to talk your way out of it somehow.
Okay.
You meet a beautiful woman. She wants to have sex with you, but she wants you to wear an afro wig. And while you're having sex with her, she's screaming racist shit at you. And then her neighbor opens the door and comes in. He's a black guy, and he's got a baseball bat.
All right, so I agree to do it.
Oh yeah,
Is that
you
what
want to
you're
have
saying?
sex with her, so
I'm doing it.
You're willing to wear the black African wig,
So
and
I'm-
she's screaming horrible racist stuff. The guy walks in, he's black, and he's got a baseball bat. He's
But
very
wait,
angry.
He walks in coito, like while we're doing it.
Yeah, her door wasn't fully locked, and the yelling was so loud, he could hear you guys from next apartment. He could
yeah.
hear her yelling the N-word and
I see.
fuck me. And
I got you.
And so
And
he
how do I talk? You want me to
now
talk? my
you
way out of
gotta
it?
you gotta talk to the black gentleman who's got the
Okay.
baseball bat and talk your way out of this situation.
Okay. Hey, bro, let's kill this honky bitch.
So you just commit to black. You just go.
Yeah,
I'm
go.
with you.
Come on, man, you and me, jive turkey.
And that was Talk Your Way Out of It with Norm MacDonald.
When I first met you and I saw you, I was like, oh, he's doing like a Jerry Norm thing.
Yeah,
It's
completely.
Seinfeld and Norm, where I think Attell and Dangerfield were my.
Yes.
Every comic you'd see, Joe Mackey was like Hedberg and Eugene Merman.
Wow.
You could always
Interesting.
see who people were kind of influenced by in their first
Definitely.
couple years. And,
Yeah.
and for you, it was Norm MacDonald. I still remember when he made it to the finals on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He made it to the $1 million question, and he bailed because it was for charity. But
Right.
he turned out he knew the right answer. So this is a guy who, by all accounts, was like self-educated.
Yeah.
And made it that far. I mean,
Tell me what you want to do. I think Pinehurst is too obvious, so I guess I will say what's the matter? Greenbrier. What are you making that face for?
I'm scared to death.
Okay, I'll just give it $500,000.
All right. What do you think?
I have no idea. I said my guess.
Did you say Greenbrier?
Yeah.
You would have won $1 million, but
really one of the best comedy minds of all time. I remember Colin Quinn told me a story once that, one of my favorite musicians ever, Leonard Cohen, being a Canadian, would go see Norm MacDonald play.
Whoa.
And Norm was like, who's this guy? Who's this old guy? He didn't care that Leonard Cohen was a Norm MacDonald fan.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Not just his stand-up, but, I mean, an edgy, underappreciated Weekend Update anchor.
Oh, the best. Easily the best Weekend guy.
And I believe he followed Kevin Nealon, who I thought was great as well.
Nealon was great.
Yeah,
They
different
said-
type of anchor.
Yeah, Dennis Miller was always like lauded as the best one, and then I feel like Norm kind of took it over.
Well,
And-
Norm was our guy. It's almost
Yeah.
like people were like, I'm a Letterman guy, and then we're like, well, we're Conan guys.
Right.
That's kind of what Norm was. Remember, he did a bit that defended Tiger Woods that I thought was hilarious on the show, and the bit was basically like, how many? Well, he's like, yeah, he cheated, but think about how many women hit on him. Like he goes, how many women hit on you in this many years? He goes, 1 in 10 years. He goes, Tiger had like this many hundred. He only slept with this many.
Right.
And he did the math. He goes, he's more faithful than you are. That's a great angle for a bit.
Also, Tiger is different than you and me. Now, how many chances do we have in our life to commit adultery? Maybe 10. So if we stray once, it's not even 10. We just think it's 10. If we stray once, that's 10%. Now, Tiger may have had sex with 50 or 60 girls, but what about the 3 million he could have but didn't? You got to factor those gals in. Then that makes the percentage 0.000000006, which statistically is 0. So, from a strictly mathematical standpoint, Tiger Woods is the most faithful man who has ever lived.
A lot of great comics are like, well, I think it was more like the media was tearing Tiger to shreds. And even though we can agree what he did was wrong, I think he felt for him. And that was his way of being like, I feel for this guy that is being railroaded. Like, when you see the Tiger doc, you do feel for him.
Sure,
you know?
of course.
There's nuance to the picture, and he added nuance. That's what I think. That's what I took from the bit. He was a true comic legend. I mean, so many comics revered him. He was a comics comic, and it's rare for those guys to break through and have the mainstream success that Norm had. But he really did. You know.
Yeah.
He had a lot of failed pilots, but he kept getting the pilots because I think he was one of those guys. I think even the suits were like, nah, he's good. Like, he had that kind of pure, tall, good-looking guy. Great observational, could work clean. Kind of had all the tools of what a mega star stand-up should have, but he was just so dry and such a disruptor, that would get in the way sometimes. But,
totally.
You know. I met him twice, and the first time I met him was I was doing this comedy style competition at Caroline's, and it was the Final Four. It was me, Dan Soder, who eventually beat me in the final two. It was me, Soder, Nick Cobb, and Adam Newman.
Wow.
And Norm MacDonald was just chilling in the crowd watching.
Damn.
And he couldn't have been nicer. He was so freaking nice to all of us.
Yeah.
Complimenting our acts, being like, man, I can never do this type of thing, you know. So cool. And then the other time I met him was on Last Comic Standing when he was a judge, and I got eliminated in the first round. I had a pretty good set, better than a lot of people who moved on, but it's NBC. Let's face it.
That's how it goes.
But I remember I had one joke that Norm singled out and goes, that joke is gold. And that to me was, was like, it was, to me, I didn't even feel that bad. I got locked off because I was like, Norm MacDonald, who was the judge that I connected to his work the most. It was Roseanne and Keenan. I connect to Roseanne's politics, of course. But but it was Roseanne and Keenan Ivory Wayans. And like, obviously I love In Living Color, but Norm, I'm a comic. Norm was the guy I connected with. And the joke he loved was I said, you know, my last girlfriend was a hoarder and she broke up with me, which stings extra hard. I'm like the one thing she can get rid of. And he said he loved that joke. And then I got Keenan kind of digged me in the last comic thing. He said, I like some of your jokes, but not all of them. And I said, well, I loved all your scary movie films. And it got a huge laugh. And he said, I only did the first two. And I was like, all right. I remember I saw Norm in like the food. He couldn't let it pass. He couldn't take the L on that one. I knew I was out after that.
Right.
And then I'm walking through the thing. It was like a break. I guess they were taking a break, the paid audience. And I see Norm and he goes, I really like that you dug it.
Oh.
So that was a special moment.
He's the real deal. He really is.
Yeah, I think he could tell. And I said I met you once at Caroline's, and I told him I really like.
Welcome Norm MacDonald, everybody. Hey, Norm. Yeah, they love you, Norm. They love you. They love you. No, you. All right, that's enough. That's enough. You're making Norm nervous now.
Is an exceptionally funny man. He's an actor, comedian, and former news anchor for Saturday Night Live. Next week, comedy history will be made with the premiere of Sports Show with Norm MacDonald. You can watch it Tuesday nights at 10:30 on Comedy Central. Please welcome Norm MacDonald.
How's it going, Jim? Good.
You scared me.
Why?
I don't know. I felt like you were coming to attack me or something.
No. I like getting out of here fast. I find people don't like people walking. Right? So the jokes get jokes in.
Some people really milk it, the walk out to the thing.
Yeah.
I admire that in a way because I don't have that kind of confidence to stand there and to do this.
Oh, to do the big thing and wave and everything.
Sometimes they go in and there's
people
handshakes.
Until people don't care too much for you.
Yeah.
Not you, me.
Yeah, or us together.
Please welcome one of our oldest friends, Norm MacDonald. Let's get him out here.
What a crowd. What a crowd. You guys are great, I'll tell you that. I've been on a lot of shows, but there's no better crowd than you right here. I'll tell you that
You're a pro. You're a pro. You came out here, you lit this crowd up.
I'm just telling the truth.
You're a truth teller. Please welcome Norm MacDonald.
Good, man.
That's a can-do, Norm. You came charging out like
that. Yeah, because Peter, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that. Why? They like jokes.
One of the funniest guys around, Norm MacDonald. Is there a problem there? What's the problem?
No, nothing. It's just speckled water.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. You got out fast. You,
yeah.
You
I want to
ran.
get right to the jokes. Yep. That's what the people are here for. They're not here to see a guy walk from there to there.
No, I've never seen anyone care about the customer more than you.
I love this audience, man.